is Nvidia. That ties into AI, which also happens to be connected to crypto. Should you be investing in those areas right now? Is now the time to do that? Well, let's talk about why people are doing it. And then we can talk about what is actually going on in the space. So, crypto, you're taking on the man. You are going to show him that this is the wave of the future. This is the new way currencies are going to go. Currency wars have gone on for hundreds of years, and you're in that fight, and you know that you can win, and you're taking on Wall Street, right? It's a movement, you know. AI, it's the wave of the future. It's going to make everything better. People will have to work less. They can focus more on their passions instead of their day-to-day work life. What else is AI going to do? It's going to automate everything and make it faster, make things more convenient for you. I don't know. We'll leave it at those things. I mean, I think that's pretty amazing. If it's going to make our lives that much better, we don't have to work as much. Everything is quicker and easier, and we're on this we're living in this automated world. That's pretty fantastic, if you ask me. And then Nvidia. Should we be getting into Nvidia right now? Nvidia obviously is a chip maker, but they are from what I read, they are the cutting edge of AI to the public at the moment in their research. Let's talk about each one of these items. So the first two, let's talk about crypto. It's a movement. We just talked about it. People believe in it because what they believe in is the fact that it's a new way of doing things, and that it will be the new way of doing things because we're heading into this new digital world, which is why AI is sort of tied in to that conversation. And also, you will talk to plenty of people that believe that crypto is not just the wave of the future. It is going to change the future. So that there's a reason that people are in crypto. So AI, how's it tie in? Well, if it's going to do all the things that I just talked about, it's also a movement, right? It is. We're not talking about investments. Most people, they'll say that Bitcoin, let's use Bitcoin for the crypto conversation. Bitcoin's going to 1 million or 500,000. It's over this time period. The truth is that's baseless. You cannot make that claim. You can't make the claim. There's no way that you're picking those numbers. We have not been there historically. We have no idea. You're just saying things. I mean, it's exciting to hear. I love it. But even to say that you're going to be at 80,000 in 3 years right now, you're lying. You have no way to come up with that number. Well, miners are doing this, and the crypto world's going like this, and we have these ETFs coming out, which is bringing more people into crypto, and yada yada yada. Well, there's another thing. It's called supply and demand. Okay, so if supply were to dry up for any reason, wherever most of this mining is going on has a blackout, there's some regulation that stops them. Whatever happens, right, in these cases, those would shoot price up. But the opposite can happen, folks. The market can be flooded with supply. That's what halving was all about. So you can't make these baseless claims, but it is a movement. So a lot of people, they believe in it. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Movements are created so that you'll believe in it, so that you'll do it. Because pitching investments, that's pitching logic. Pitching logic does not work. You have to appeal to human beings through their emotions. And that's what they're doing right now. They're appealing to you through your emotions in crypto. If you're looking at Bitcoin right now, it is moving the exact same way, the same process, the same manner, the same technicals, the same mechanics as the US stock markets do. There's a reason for that. You're not fighting the man. They are the man. And there is no the man, by the way. These are guys getting up in the morning, just like you and I, figuring out how to make a living, creating markets, creating new places for people to explore what they're doing. And they sell you a movement because people buy into movements. People do not buy into products. Okay, the product is what comes from the movement. So the product in this case is crypto. The movement is this is the future. This is the currency of the future. Here's why. It can't be manipulated. By whom? The Fed. Everybody talks about the Fed manipulating things. And the Fed does manipulate things. I mean, they created the inflationary environment we're in right now. I'm not denying that. They increased the amount of currency in circulation in the US by 50% in 2021, which is absolutely unheard of, which created this inflationary environment. Was it intentional? I have to think so. They know exactly what was going to happen from that. But they needed their $1.5 trillion. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'd like you to look up anything that was distributed at $1.5 trillion, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I want you to look it up, so I'm not going to tell you. That's what this inflation is all about. They do manipulate things, but also society runs a little smoother. Does it put more power in the hands of less, like as in less people? Yes, it does. We can go back and forth in these arguments, and they're not arguments to me. I love the conversation. I love it. I can take both sides of this conversation because I do enjoy it. But you bought a movement. You didn't buy crypto. So keep that in mind. And we're going to talk about what happens with movements, okay? So now we're on to AI. It's the wave of the future. It's what's coming. It's going to make our lives better. We're going to have more time off, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I remember when I was told that technology, the internet, your cell phones, they were going to do all those things, okay? Now, I live through not just historical precedents, but what I've been told throughout my life. I'm 45 years old. So if you're 25, you might be a lot smarter than I am. I will not debate that. But you do not have the wisdom and living experience that I have. And what I can tell you is throughout my life, I've heard a lot of stories about a lot of movements. All right. I remember a movement 4 years ago called Peloton. All right. Look it up. PTON. I remember when Peloton had fallen 83% down to $27. And what was it? 31 or 33 analysts on Wall Street rated it a buy after that drop. It was a 1 year drop, 83%. They rated it a buy at $27. It's now down at 3 something, maybe 4 something. That's a movement because the product was a byproduct of the movement. You too can be this hot chick. I remember everybody made a big deal out of whoever the girl was on the commercial. You too can, run the hills of the Tour de France. You're going to be in shape. We got trainers. Yeah. You're going to be locked in your homes forever. It was a movement. The product is a byproduct of the movement. That's why the thing got to $100 and some, and now it sits at 4 years later. So much for long-term investing, huh? Just kidding. There's more to that story than just that, but that is what movements do. Let's talk about AI. In a specific way, we can talk about AI. What are my personal beliefs on AI? I believe we're oversold, we're overpitched, we're oversold. I don't believe the capabilities are there. I don't think it's coming as fast as anyone says. AI is destroying customer service. I had the worst experience with Airbnb. I could tell it was AI. It sounds like a person, and always with a thick accent, but they don't understand what you're saying. The AI cannot read into a conversation yet. Now you're going to tell me that AI is going to turn my home into a spying device, and AI can't even understand when I say, hey, you applied this coupon to month 6 of my stay. I needed to be applied to month 1. And you dealt with this AI for 4 days before a human being got back to you. Don't tell me where we're at with AI. I experience it every day of my life right now. The difference is I don't think many people realize it. It's destroying social media with the monstrous numbers of fake accounts, which is also putting a negative spin on advertising because there's no reason to do pay-per-click advertising right now. None. You don't know if any of those clicks that you're paying for are even human beings. In fact, I would venture to guess 50% of social media is false. I remember during the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, there's all this stuff, basically sticking up for Amber Heard. You can look this up, by the way. Jump on. In fact, I want you to look it up. Go find out what percentage of the interactions about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial were human beings or bots paid for by Johnny Depp's team. Do you want to go look on TikTok? You want to check it out? Okay. It's 90+% of what you read about what on there was bots and AI. 90. All right. I remember when technology back in the 90s was going to make my life easier. I was going to work less. It was going to level the playing field between the poor and the rich, which was a huge one because it was going to give education to people that couldn't get it. Guess what? We haven't had a larger disparity between the poor and the rich ever in history. It's not even comparable. We work more than we ever have. We make less than we ever have. And you want to convince me of the same thing again in 2024, 2023, 2022? Yeah. I heard that pitch. And I remember back then because I was just graduating high school in 97 when we were using the internet and .com was everywhere. It wasn't really the internet yet. Not the way that millennials or Gen Zs know it. It was not what you think of the internet. It wasn't yet. And we were pitched all this stuff. And I remember when the NASDAQ, everybody's familiar with the tech bubble. I remember when it popped like through the roof. And it was the same kind of talk that we're having now. I mean, this is that situation and the same people being relived, being done over. It is. Now, that bubble, when it burst, how long do you think it was before the NASDAQ got back to the levels of March of 2000? Any guesses? Approximately 17 years. December of 2016. That's how long it took for tech to catch up with what it was claimed to be in 1999 and 2000. Well, really from 98 to 2000. I mean, it was that whole era was a bubble. It took 17 years to break even. 17 years. And why? Because the internet wasn't there yet. And trust me when I tell you, if you're living through these computers and you think it's real life, you need to get out there. You better start calling some customer service. You better find out what goes on. I had AI destroy my work email. I just wanted to automate the emails and the responses. That was it. It flooded people with garbage emails, not written the way I wrote them, spelling errors. It flooded them. And so now that entire business account is spam. And you're going to tell me that we're at a place that Nvidia is worth over $1,000? I remember when China was the big, and this is a country, a massive country. China was the stuff. In 04, 05, 06, this was the place to be. Brick, baby. Does everybody here know what brick is? Brazil, India, China, Russia, Brazil, Russia, India, China. These were oh my gosh, you're going to get rich. Brick. That's all I heard for 3 years. China's down 70% over the last 20. That's what happens to movements, folks. You have to be very careful about movements. I'm not telling you not to buy Bitcoin. I'm not to buy Nvidia and not to get into AI. What I'm telling you is you need to be very, very careful. Hype and movements are carefully created and crafted to get your attention. Now, if I want to be the biggest thing on the internet, what I would be doing right now is telling you how great AI is and how great Nvidia is and buy crypto, and I would blow up. I will not do that. You got a lot of guys for that. Go find them. You get unbiased information here. Why? I don't have a dog in the fight. You're my dog. You're my fight. You're who I want to do well. You're who I'm looking after. I don't care what the crypto world has to offer me as far as money. I don't care. I don't care what AI has to offer me as far as money. I'm going to tell you what I see and what I experience. And the knowledge I have from doing this for 25 years, for anywhere from 60 to 80 to 100 hours a week. You want to get more specific on these topics, you become a student of mine and we go in and we evaluate truly from a technical standpoint. But for this, the purpose of this conversation, I just want you to understand when you're asking these questions of yourself, you have to step away from the emotions. You have to step away from the bias. When you go to buy a car, you should go look at it. You should go drive it. You should try to work out the deal. You should leave no matter what and come back in a week. If you still like that car, you should buy it. I give you similar advice right here, right now. That's what I would tell you. What were we talking about? So we covered AI, we covered crypto, and we really covered Nvidia. Nvidia is the beacon of light for AI. Now, for you people that say it is the future, I know it is, and you don't know anything about supercomputing, this is going to happen so fast. I know. I know it will. Don't buy the hype, folks. Movements are movements for a reason. They sell products. Are Air Jordans about shoes? Was the iPhone about a device? Or Apple, I should say. Was Apple about a device? What do these companies represent? What did Peloton represent? Peloton represented wealth and prestige and health and physical fitness. And you were all going to get there. We were all going to get there. Let's face it. Come on. You know what you know the answers to these questions. Now, I help you build your cash management system, your risk management system, and your investment management system through several steps when someone works with me. And if you have questions about that, feel free to ask. This isn't a pitch. I wanted to talk about Nvidia and AI and crypto, and I wanted to do it in an unbiased way. So if you get offended by the stuff I just said, realize that you're biased. A conversation about investment should never offend you. You should go into every conversation about investments with the plan to change your mind. I am going to prove myself wrong. I do it every day. That's exactly how I evaluate investments. When I start looking at information, I say, prove me wrong. I want to be proved wrong. This is what I believe. I need facts that disprove it. And I look for them. I hunt. You know why? Because when I come to an opinion, it's bulletproof. I've looked at everything contrary to my beliefs, and I still hold my beliefs. Those are my beliefs. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Listen, as always, if you're struggling today with your mental health, if you're not feeling well, if you're feeling depressed, you're just feeling a little down, call someone, talk to someone. Call me, talk to me, direct message me. I don't care. I am here, and you have friends and family that care about you more than you'd ever imagine. You have no idea how much you're missed by people that probably don't even know you. So do something positive today. Smile until it becomes real. Stop giving me the finger because you're upset. I get it. I know what it feels like. That's how I know how it feels when someone says those things to you and you're just in the wrong headspace. Make it a positive day. Tomorrow will be a better day. Every day above ground is a good day. And remember, you're worth it. Thank you very much.